Don't get us on video, we're moving up.
Welcome to the first class passenger bedroom. The first class rooms had modern appliances, telephones, electric heaters, and lamps. Most of the first class tickets for the Titanic cost more than the third class passengers made in 1 year. Some first class passengers brought their own servants along. There were only 325 people who sailed first class. The first class passengers had their own swimming pool. Today's money, you could expect to pay an average of $70,000 per first class ticket.
There's the servants button for when they want their food, and that's their own private bathroom. And people all over the world were shocked that the Titanic had sunk. Only 705 people out of the 2,208 passengers and crew were saved. The Titanic was 882 feet from the front to back. That is the same size as 4 city blocks.
Hello. Many of the 706 third-class passengers were immigrants from Europe, like us.
The third-class passengers were able to socialize in a large room where they played games, danced, and listened to music.
The third-class passengers paid the lowest for their tickets. They were put in the darkest and lowest part of the ship called the steerage.
Hello, and welcome to the path of the Titanic, RMS Titanic. I will be controlling the computer for the first part. Matthew and Alden will be writing the first part. Then we'll do our switcheroo. Okay, now, first things first, let's head to where the mighty ship itself was built. Pretty neat. Iceberg. Matthew, do you have anything to say about this?
Yes, the Titanic was built right here in Icebergs, and it was a pretty nice place, and yeah.
Let's head to where the first stop for the Titanic was. Southampton, not the hotel.
Now, this was the first stop for the Titanic, and this is where probably most of rich people and lots of people got on right here. And yeah, we stopped for the Titanic.
Now, let's head to the second stop for the mighty ship. All the way to Coben.
Now, this was where the rest of the people got onto the Titanic until for their journey. Yeah, until for their lovely journey. And
that wasn't that lovely.
Yeah.
If you weren't paying attention in the beginning, the entire path of the ship, it had a long journey.
DJ, would you show where the Titanic was sunk around here? And so the Titanic was really close to its destination, but around here it kind of sunk by an iceberg. But its original path was to reach New York. And yeah. So DJ, we'll be going to where like pictures of the Titanic and the pieces for it. So
let's show them the bridge first. Ah, the good old bridge. This is where I was the most of the time. Also where I died. Now if you're wondering, how am I here then? I am actually a ghost. If you ask why it's all broken down, the windows have shattered. And when windows shatter, you already know it's a bad thing, especially if it's underwater.
Okay, so as you can see, this is, in other words, the back of the ship. Now as you can see, it hit the ground so hard, it literally, the propeller came off. And if you are wondering how fast it went down at about 100 miles an hour. And when it hit the ground, everything shattered.
It was not pleasant.
Most of it is because it hit the ground. That's how it got wrecked like that. And so, here's a fact. When it split in half, the middle came off, and it landed about 3 miles off. And that was the hardest part to climb.
And if you couldn't tell already, it's very rusty. Matthew, why don't we head to the second piece of Now, this is part of the deck of the Titanic. Obviously, I don't think it's too stable to walk on right now, but still, it's a deck. Owen, do you got anything to say about this?
Well, as you can see how it was bent, that's when it hit the ground. That's when it all happened.
This is an engine. You'll learn more about engines, boiler rooms over there.
I have a quick fact for it. When the Titanic sunk, when it hit the iceberg, the middle cracked. So when the other piece came down, it kind of hanged, and then it just came down, and then the other piece was just floating, and then a little bit after it just came down.
This is a very high-tech submarine with very high-definition cameras. Now, there's no one in there because the water pressure would just be too much. That's why it's open. Now, this is all controlled by ship. So, everything that is controlled is in the ship. There's a special floor where people would, well, look. Okay, so in 1985, Dr. Robert Ballard first located the Titanic wreck. Nearly 20 years later, he returned with a team of researchers to map the wreckage and analyze its deterioration.
Full steam ahead, aka Titanic's black gang refers to the numerous men who work to keep the ship moving. Bosses in the boiler room are never very popular because they hit the workers on the head if they messed up. The first boiler room that was hit by the iceberg was boiler room 6.
They were given the name Black Gang because of the coal dust that settled on faces and torsos. Titanic shoveled over 820 tons of coal a day. Only one person survived from boiler room 6.
Full steam ahead,
AKA?
Titanic coal workers. We have one of the toughest jobs on the ship. We shovel for 8 hours straight.
Why are we called the Black Gang?
Because of the coal dust that settles on our faces and torsos.
Oh, don't you hate the bosses in the boiler rooms? Hit you on the head if you mess up.
Think?
Get to work!
Ah! Come on! The other thing that's clearly not awesome is there are 29 boilers.
Yeah, I know, 16.5 feet high. We shovel about 820 tons of coal a day.
And it's a backbreaking job. Thanks for listening. Run! Run!
Mine was icebergs. Icebergs come in all shapes and sizes. Icebergs travel with ocean currents. Icebergs can get caught in shallow waters or on shore. And the iceberg was 50 to 100 feet high and 200 to 400 feet long. And these icebergs are very dangerous because they are harder to spot, especially when they're smaller.
First class by Aaliyah, Kendra, Kylie.
There were four restaurants for first class passengers. There were 2 barbershops and 2 libraries.
Passengers traveling first class were roughly 44% more likely to survive than others. The price of a first class ticket would be about $57,000 today.
An enormous dining room could seat over 500 people. A separate lounge was provided for maids, valets, and wealthy passengers.
The first class public rooms were spacious and elegantly fitted out with mirrors, crystal light fixtures, and potted plants. There was also a great lounge.
For first class passengers, the Titanic also offered exercise facilities. Personal trainers were available through the workouts that included bicycling, boxing, weight training, and a motorized device called the electric camel.
This was the first class passengers room, and this was the pool for first class.
We had very good menus, and we have a lot to choose from. A lot of ice cream, meats, produce, and a lot of greenery, and a lot of drinks. And I have my own restaurant, which I'm very glad. And I had about 12 cousins and 3 of my own siblings on board with me. So it's great.
One day, 3 first-class passengers were enjoying a fancy meal on board the Titanic.
Are you ladies enjoying the Titanic? I know I am. Yes, this is a lovely voyage. Agreed. Shall we order our food now? I sure am getting hungry.
Let's order lobster, chicken, turkey, steak, pork, mashed potatoes, and salad.
Wait, here comes our food.
First course is served.
I don't mean to complain, but didn't we order more food than this?
Second course is served.
Ah, that's better. Thank you.
Final course is served.
Thank you, Mr. Chef.
Please, call me Chef Luigi.
Wait, what was that?
I feel too. Relax, it's probably a nothing.
Oh, all right. Let's not just sit here with our stomachs growling.
Everybody dig in.
What a lovely dinner.
I know, right?
Boat 7 was launched with 28 out of 65 seats. Boat 6 was launched with 24 out of 65. Boat 5 was launched with 41 out of 65. Boat 3 was launched with 33 out of 65. Boat 1 was launched with 12 out of 65. Boat 8 was launched with 28 out of 65. Boat 10 was launched with 51 out of 65.
Boat 18 was launched with 45 out of 65. Boat 16 was launched with 40 out of 65. Boat 9 was launched with 56 out of 65. Boat 12 was launched with 30 out of 65. Boat 11 was launched with 70 out of 65 and overload.
Boat 13 was launched with 64 out of 65. Boat 15 was launched with 70 out of 65. Boat 2 was launched with 28 out of 65. Boat 4 was launched with 65 out of 65. Boat C was launched with 30 out of 65. Boat D was launched with 24 out of 65.
These are the 8 members of the orchestra and band, and this is the hymn of the ship's band played as the vessel went down. This is a close-up on Wallace Hartley's engravement. It says, "For Wallace, on the occasion of our engagement from Maria." This is Wallace Hartley's violin. And there's a picture of a trumpet that was played to "Nearer My God to Thee" and "Autumn."
Hello, my name is Savannah, and my friends and I will talk about the Titanic's orchestra. So I will talk about the members, Jacob will talk about the lifeboats, and Meadow will be talking about the songs, and Kenzie will talk about the instruments.
I will talk about the songs. The last song they played was "Near My God to Thee." They also played "Autumn." The orchestra members tried to calm the passengers.
Many people were confused on the way to go after the order to the lifeboats was given. People thought it should have been a drill for the lifeboats, but it had been canceled because the captain wanted passengers to go to church.
The members of the Titanic were Wallace Hartley, John Woodward, John Clark, Georges Crins, Theodore Brayley, John Hume, Jack and Percy Taylor.
John Woodward was the only member of the orchestra who played cello. The rest of the members played violin or trumpet.